On April 15th, 1912, the steamship Titanic, on her maiden voyage across the Atlantic, hit an iceberg. The Titanic, then the mightiest ship afloat, was believed to be unsinkable, but she was lost. Because of the Titanic disaster, Great Britain and the United States banded together with other nations to form the International Ice Patrol. Each year, the Coast Guard vessel on patrol where the Titanic sank has a ceremony in memory of the passengers and crew who lost their lives in that great disaster.
Hello, Chief.
Captain, I don't know what to do with that stupid man, so he's in the brig more than he is out.
Well, that doesn't prove him stupid. He does no work in the brig.
He does no work anyway, sir. He's just a born troublemaker. Keeps the men stirred up all the time.
Fine, we'll promote him.
Promote him?
Sure, give him a little authority, responsibility. Promoted devils make the best saints. And if I remember correctly, O'Malley, you've seen the inside of a brig yourself.
Yes, sir, but that was in the old days.
Yeah, before I worked a promotion for you.
That was the reason he...
Oh, among others. Anyway, that's how we'll handle Morgan, so tell him I want to see him when we get in.
Aye, aye, sir.
Oh, and O'Malley, I got an answer to the message we sent to your wife.
Oh?
She's coming down and bringing Grant and your son, too.
Oh, well, that's swell.
At my expense, of course, while they're here, so if you're broke, don't worry.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Captain.
Oh, it's little enough with the way she mothers that boy of mine while I'm at sea, Chief.
Yeah, I know, but she's very happy to have him, sir.
Grant's lucky to have a home like yours.
Thank you, sir.
Captain, this is radio. Ship and dock on fire at Argentia Pier.
All engines ahead, pull!
Aye, aye, Captain.
All engines ahead full, sir. Port captain says he's loaded with munitions, and one hold is full of drums of aviation gasoline. We'll get some lines aboard and tow her clear.
Who'll handle the boarding party?
I'll take charge of that.
Set all special sea detail. Set all special sea detail.
All right, I need 6 men.
I'll pick him, sir.
Thompson, Evans, Moskowitz, Brennan, Schwartz, Shannon.
Come on.
the seacocks open so she'll sink if the fire don't get in the ammunition number 2 hole. The inner watertight door is jammed.
Take 4 men to get our lines aboard. Get the ship away from the dock.
Right.
State, you go with him. You, show us the way to number 2 hole. O'Malley, Lanning, come with me. Slack'll blow any second. Close this hatch and dog is secure while I tackle the other one. You can let me out when I rap.
Close it. With you in there, sir, why if she goes, you haven't got a chance.
That's an order, Chief. We gotta localize the fire.
Aye, I say.
That was the gasoline. Got that watertight door closed all right. Well...
Chief O'Malley had to break the news to Captain Matthews' 10-year-old son, Brad, that his father was dead. And that from that day on, Mrs. O'Malley and he would raise him along with their boy, Hap. And raise him they did, in the spirit of a seagoing Coast Guardsman. And when they were old enough, both Hap and Brad qualified for the Coast Guard Academy.
It's about time the chief got himself a new car.
Yeah, doesn't he know we gotta make an impression when we go on a date?
Whereabouts at Ocean Beach are we meeting this bundle of beauty?
At the end of the pier. Look, I just invited you to meet her, and I don't get any ideas.
Oh?
Yeah, I thought you could go swimming with us and sort of get acquainted. And then when it's time to go to dinner, you could,
bow out.
That's it.
Yeah. Learn to swim like that?
Right here in New London. Haps told me all about you. In fact, you're his favorite subject.
Well, that's funny. I thought his favorite subject was a girl named Pat.
He raved so much about you, I insisted he bring you along today.
And it wasn't his idea.
I should say not. I had a terrible time talking him into it.
Mr. O'Malley, you're a rat.
Would you have dinner with us tonight?
Well, I had an appointment.
Oh, you're a liar.
I know a cute little place on the waterfront.
Story I could tell. 'cause I never knew how I kissed. It was sweet. I didn't dream that it would sweep me off my feet. Now I'm helplessly in love. I've been the victim of a little thing called just one kiss.
You two make a real cute duet.
We thank you.
I feel real crazy tonight.
Any particular reason?
I'm just having a wonderful time.
Say, Hap, can you drop me off? I just remembered I have to get back to the academy.
Oh, do you have to go?
This is Hap State. I just horned in.
I'm sorry to lose you, old man. I don't want you to think I haven't had a good time with you along, because I haven't.
Flattery, Mr. O'Malley. We'll get you everywhere. Bye, honey. Watch out for O'Malley.
Why so pensive, old man?
I was just thinking about your dad. Things a guy ordinarily doesn't think about, I guess. You grow up just taking everything for granted. He's been more than a father to me. Next to you, he's the best friend I've got in this world. My father'd be mighty happy with him right about now.
Well, what brings all this on?
I guess it was this letter from your mother. Here, read it yourself.
Boy, it must be some letter to get you in a mood like this. Hey, she's coming here, huh?
Just keep reading, it gets better. The chief's been transferred to the Eagle.
They're moving here. Did you get this part where she writes?
You'd think she'd know by now it's always been the other way around.
Yeah, like who has problems?
You got any?
Look, kid, you work harder than any swab in this whole academy. You'll make it.
Don't you hear any swabs?
Yes, sir.
Well, where is it?
It's on the truck, sir. Ready to be taken aboard the Eagle.
What's all the grinning about?
The Bermuda cruise, sir, the Eagle.
It's our first cruise, sir.
Really now? Since you're both swabs, I couldn't possibly have guessed it.
Besides that, sir, my father's aboard.
Your father's an officer?
Yes, sir, Chief Bosun.
So you two are real eager, eh?
Yes, sir.
Remember, she's a sailing ship, swabs. When you climb out on that topgallant yard, you may lose some of your ardent enthusiasm. You'll climb up the masts 150 feet high with the water far below you. The Coast Guard wants to find out what you're made of before it spends another 3 years of the government's money to educate you. Report to the truck at 1600 for transportation to the dock.
Aye, aye, sir.
Aye, aye, sir.
Look at that. Boy, this is really something.
Maybe I'm dumb, but why a training ship with sails and rigging?
Well, it's Iron Man wooden ships. That's what the chief says. Besides, it takes a real sailor to man one of these.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
Well, let's see if we can find the chief.
First classman lay below. Stow your gear. Report on deck on the double.
He's found.
Stand by to get underway.
Stand by your lines.
Turn in?
I'm too tired in one of those hammocks.
Hey, Dad!
Chief, we were wondering when we'd see you.
Boy, we sure heard you. Hey, don't you let on you're my dad. Those guys will skin me alive.
Why not? I'm the kindest, sweetest bosun they'll ever have.
Yeah, I bet you are. Say, where were you? We looked all over for you before we came on the ship.
Oh, I was pretty busy. I just had time to call Ma, though, and she's fine. She wanted me to take you aboard. I told her you'd be men when you finish this cruise.
Iron Man.
What else did Ma say?
Oh, she hates to see you grow up. She's mighty proud of you, though. I am, too. You know, this is a day I've dreamed of.
How was your cruise to England, Dad?
All right, all right. Looks like we might get a little heavy weather on this one, though. You fellas better lay below. I'll see you later.
All hands on deck! All hands on deck!
Rise out, swabs! All hands, take in sail! Come on, Come on, let's go! Come on, you two, snap it up! Let's go, stand our work to do. Shift to deck.
Hey, sir, where's my station taking in sail?
Fore upper topsail. You knew that, mister. You were told that before we left.
Look, what do you want him to do? Send you up in a bosun's chair? Come on, will you?
All right, you guys, snap it up. Come on, let's go. Come on, hurry up. Now remember, that's 150 feet straight up, as high as a 15-story building. And it'll be swaying and rocking with every pitch and roll of the ship. Remember, one hand for yourself and one for the ship. Otherwise, you may fall and mess up the captain's nice, clean deck.
Yes, Mother.
And when Mr. O'Malley lays below again, he'll do extra duty for disrespect to a superior. Any more comical comments?
Up, men! Lay aloft and furl sail!
All right, everybody, up front to it! Get it! Come on, Grant, keep going, will ya? Come on, move it! Brad, quick, help me!
Ahoy! The upper topsail yard! What's wrong up there?
Cadet Matthews, sir, he's passed out!
Better lay up there fast, Mr. O'Malley, and get him down.
Aye, aye, sir.
Okay.
Carry on, Mr. O'Malley.
Yes, sir.
They tell me you passed out. What happened up there? Seasick?
No, sir. It wasn't that.
Might affect you?
I don't know, sir.
I realize it's your first cruise, but that's why you're here, to find out if you can take it.
Yes, sir.
What happened to Matthew? Chickened out. I hear tell that his old man was a captain. Yeah. It's gonna take more than that to make him one.
Everybody's scared at first. 30 years ago, I was.
Yes, sir.
The important thing is that you go up.
Captain out at Grad, relieved from further duty until the morning watch, but I can't find him. He was in sick bay, but he left there. I've looked all over the ship for him. And you can't locate him? No, and I'm getting worried. Wait a minute. I think I know where he is, and it'd be just like him. Come on. Grad, you crazy boy? Lay below. Let me alone. I'm all right. Listen, it's me. I'm telling you to lay below.
I told you I'm all right. I'm staying here until
Come on, Grad. Lay below, son, and that's an order. You better lay below and turn in. You go with him, Hap.
Chief, wait. I want to explain. I want to explain.
Hold it.
All right. First time up there, I was scared. So scared I just folded. But I've licked it. I'll be all right in the rigging now, even if it's sky high.
Sure you will.
You know, the fact that my dad died in the service, it kind of throws me sometime. I've got to get that memory out of my head.
You know something? I'm not the least bit worried about you.
Thanks.
Company, halt! Dismiss!
All right, it's up to you. I've got lots of time. When you learn to pick your feet up, we'll secure. And not till then. Wilson, get that chin in. Square your cap. Straighten your rifle. Center your buckle. Right shoulder, arms. Left face. Forward, heart.
Well, if it isn't Captain Bligh. Mr. Wilson. Come here, Mr. Wilson.
Let up, will you?
Why? You don't let up. You haven't let up for 18 months.
That's the same old trouble, trying too hard.
Well, I swore I wouldn't do it, but you've broken me down.
Do what?
Take you out again with Pat and me. We're going to dinner.
Okay, Mr. O'Malley. Do it at your own peril.
I'm not worried.
Now I wander in a spell like a starry-eyed gazelle.
We have a club for the officers' wives and daughters. It's an old tradition, you know. I'd love to have you two over for the next social.
We'd be delighted. Say, Hap looks lonely. Maybe we better sit down.
I've been telling Grad about the Navy Club. We're going to have you two over.
Good. You'll have a girl for Grad, of course.
Doesn't he have a girl of his own?
Strictly freelance.
So am I.
I like that.
At least I always have been.
Look, let's go on to some other place, huh?
What's the matter with this one?
Well, it's beginning to depress me. Check, please.
Thank you.
How about a game of gin rummy? I can't. I'm waiting for Grad. We're going to work some math problems. I think you better play a few games with me while you're waiting. Grad isn't about to bust any boilers getting back here. Oh, yeah? Did you see him ashore? With a beautiful gal. Well, so that's what he's finally done. He's gone and got himself a girlfriend. Yeah, you ought to know her. Pat, the Navy junior. Pat Kirby? That's her. Where'd you see them? A little tavern down on the waterfront. Yeah, I know the place. What's the matter? Something wrong? Plenty.
What about Hap?
About Hap. He's a very nice fellow, but I'm not going steady with him. I wanted you to know.
What did you want me to know?
Well,
I know. I don't want to hurt Hap, but I feel the same about you as you do about me.
I thought you did, and I'm glad. I've been thinking about you ever since the first time we met. I never felt so long about anyone.
It's a crazy world.
Crazy and wonderful. How does it happen that two people meet and they just sort of know?
Who can explain it? And who wants to? Hap.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're my girl.
I'm not.
Well, I've been dating you.
Did I ever say I was your girl?
You didn't have to.
Did I ever promise to go steady?
You just never talked about it.
It's because there was nothing to talk about. I don't like your attitude. Some people take an awful lot for granted.
But if you calm down a minute, I think I can explain.
He doesn't want an explanation.
Stay out of it, Pat. We sort of met here. We were just talking about you and...
I'll bet.
Now, wait a minute.
You really work fast. I introduce you to my girl and you go around making dates with her.
I might have expected that from anyone else, but not from you.
Hap, wait.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't want anything to do with either one of you.
If you're saying anything about Pat,
I'm saying it about both of you. Granted, it takes an awful lot to get me mad, but this is it. I've had it. And when you get back to the academy, do me a favor. Get yourself another room.
I never dreamed he felt like that.
like I said, I didn't want to hurt him.
But when two people meet and they're for each other, what are you going to do?
It's already been done.
Is that the way you feel about me?
No. Look, can't I make you understand?
Doesn't your girl come first before anything?
Of course she does, but...
If you keep on this way, I won't be your girl after tonight.
Pat, listen.
Oh, what the use? Would you care for anything else?
Bring me a drink, please.
What kind?
Scotch.
Matthews.
He's been drinking.
He must be crazy.
They'll bilge him.
Let's get him out of here. Come on.
Here comes the cops.
I can't understand keeping him so long.
Oh, dear. It means so much to Grad and all. Do you suppose it's possible they might be lenient sometime?
The hearing's at 2:30.
I feel terrible. I feel as if it's all my fault.
Don't be silly. It's just that you...
Please.
What happened?
What else?
Bilged?
Yeah, bilged. I'm out.
What about the police charges?
Suspended sentence.
Where you going?
Well, I don't belong around here anymore.
Well, that's a stupid remark.
It begins to appear that everything I do is stupid.
Grad, I want you.
What's there to talk about?
Well, I'm so ashamed. I feel as if...
You had nothing to do with it. What's the matter? You feel sorry for me?
No, I don't. It's just that I want to be... You remember what we talked about.
But it's no good. You're just a kid.
No, I'm not. Don't say that.
You forget all about it in no time.
No, I won't. Ever.
Forget about it, Pat. Just forget about it. I'm in no mood, no position to... Be a good girl. Just go away.
Look, hothead, why pick on her? Take it out on me if you want somebody to blame, somebody to beef at. It's nobody's fault but your own anyway, so why don't you face it?
End of speech?
Yeah. End of speech.
Bye, Ma.
Bye, dear.
Hey, Grant. Wait a minute. Who you running away from? Where do you figure you're headed?
Nowhere. Anywhere. I don't know.
I know Hap's mad, and it makes it kind of awkward for everybody, but
He's wrong about Pat. I didn't steal her.
I didn't raise you all these years to have you buckle under like this and vanish into nowhere. You've been bilged out of the academy, so what are you gonna do, quit? Give up your girl, your family, your friends?
Looks to me like I've lost my chance.
I don't think so. You've got everything it takes to make it. Might be a little slower, but you know some of the best officers in the Coast Guard are men that came up from the ranks? Your father, for instance.
Are you suggesting that I enlist?
Yeah, if you're man enough.
bank of ice. Wonder how long they've been following that one. About 2 weeks.
They're the Fly Boys.
That new bosun's mate's a mighty ambitious boy.
Matthews.
You apparently know him better than anybody else.
I ought to, sir. I've raised him since he was 10 years old.
That why he's such a good seaman?
There's even a better reason.
What's that?
Do you by any chance remember a Captain Jack Matthews?
I certainly do. Killed when a munition ship caught fire. He was a great man.
Grad's his son.
Oh.
When Captain Matthews was killed, I sort of felt he'd like to have me raise him.
Why isn't he in the academy?
He was.
I see.
He's starting all over again, the hard way.
Good boy.
I think so, sir.
Mark. 32 degrees, 49 minutes. Mark the time?
Yes. Now let's check this at the bridge.
Combat has picked up a mayday, sir. In our vicinity? Yes, sir. Our ice patrol plane's having trouble. Fuel transfer line's broken. They're gonna have to ditch. Very well.
U.S. Coast Guard Cutter Westland. Coast Guard Cutter Westland. We have now picked up your beacon and will come in on it. Conserving fuel. Reduce speed to 120 knots.
Rescue party ready?
Yes, sir.
Have the boat crew stand by to lower away the motor launch.
Yes, sir.
There she is.
Now all hands take stations for ditch and rescue. On the double, provide. All hands take stations for ditch and rescue on the double, provide.
Pilot, the crew. We have the Westland in sight. Stand by to ditch.
They've got the Westland in sight. Stand by to ditch.
Oh, how long do you think we'll stay afloat once we hit?
Depends on the impact. Depends on how rough the sea is.
Faster forward. Faster aft. Watch your flapping line. Our legs are caught. Hurry him up.
They need help. O'Malley, Matthews, go with them.
Help get him out. I'll try to open his door. You get up, I'll push him up to you. Right. Okay, I'm free. Come on, get out of here. Hurry up, we haven't got much time. Come on, get out of here, Chief.
Close. Could you make out who that last man was he pulled out of the plane?
Yeah, Matthews.
Rogers, when you get squared away, I want to see you, Mr. O'Malley, and Matthews, my captain.
Yes, sir.
Come in. How are our rescuees?
They're going to be all right, sir. Just a bit shaken up.
I watched the rescue from the bridge. It showed quick action and courage. Just bringing a report on.
Thank you, Captain. Matthews, Mr. O'Malley did a fine job, sir.
Matthews, you're one of the youngest bosun's mates I've seen. You conduct yourself exceedingly well. I was just looking over your examination papers for first class. like to tell you now that I'm recommending that promotion.
Thank you, sir.
Now you can start studying again, son.
Studying again? For what?
Well, I'm anxious to strike for chief, sir.
In time, Matthews. Be patient. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
Mr. O'Malley, I'd like you to stay for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
That is quite a boy you've raised. Doing all right. You have a son of your own, don't you?
Yes, sir. My son and Grad had a sort of a falling out here some time back. Kind of puts me in a terrible spot. Of course, I love the both of them, and there doesn't seem to be anything I can do to patch it up between them. My son graduates from the academy this year.
That wouldn't have anything to do with your request for a transfer to the Campbell when the Ice Patrol suspends operations for the summer, would it?
Yes, sir, it would.
That would put you in New London in time for the ceremonies, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir. Do you suppose Grad could swing over to the Campbell with me, sir?
After what happened this afternoon, I imagine it can be arranged.
Well, that's fine. I think I'll go below and tell Grad the good news.
Good luck, Mr. O'Malley.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you and your boys get back together again.
Thank you, Captain. Hey, Grad. What happened? What makes you think anything happened?
Well, the skipper kept you in his cabin after we left. Now you got a big smile on your face.
Well, I took it upon myself to request that you be transferred with me to the Campbell.
You mean escorting the Eagle on its summer cruise?
Yeah, we'd be there just in time to see Hap graduate.
You'll be there just in time to see Hap graduate.
Well, I'd hoped you'd be as anxious to be there as I am.
I'd rather keep away from the academy. But once you're bilged out, it's best you forget it. I'd start a whole new life. This would be like going back to the old one.
Well, I'm sorry, Grad. Would you want me to have the request for your transfer canceled?
No, that's okay. I'll just stay aboard the ship when we get there.
Okay. I've lived my whole life for this one moment.
We both have.
I was sure Grad would be here to see this.
So was I. I hear the chief's kid graduated this afternoon.
Yeah,
Funny situation. The son outranks the father.
that's right.
I wonder what it feels like to be a cadet in the academy.
Feels fine.
Oh, you can hear that music as clear as anything. What is it, a big graduation dance?
Yeah, it's a tradition of the academy.
make a fine-looking officer.
I used to wonder if I'd ever make it at all.
Yeah. You two ever...
I admit the face looks familiar.
Hello, Grad.
Grad's made first class already.
I'll see you later, Chief.
That wasn't like you.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Go catch him and talk to him.
What do you want me to say to him?
Still sore, huh?
I'd just rather not discuss it.
Grad's a real great guy, and so are you.
Do we have to talk about it?
Well, what's in the immediate future? Maybe you can be aboard the Westland with me.
Why, I hope so. I'd really enjoy making it with you, Dad.
Well, look, this is no rule of the service by any manner of means, but, you know, I developed into quite a string puller.
I gotta go, Dad. I'll see you.
Okay. I'm sorry, Grad.
Why, it wasn't your fault.
No, I guess what happened wasn't anybody's fault. You take the same attitude Hap does. He thinks that you sort of blame him because you were bilged out of the academy.
I don't.
I told him you didn't. Oh, by the way, Pat Kirby was at the graduation. You ever hear from her?
A couple of letters.
Did you answer them?
No.
Well, it just wasn't love with you and Pat after all.
Look, Chief, your father's high up in the Navy. When I was a cadet at the academy, well, I was the same as she was.
Do you think that makes any difference to her?
It would to me.
You know, Hap wouldn't be so cool if it wasn't for the fact that he still thinks the world of Pat. While you act like you didn't even know she was alive, and she acts like she didn't know Hap was alive.
There's nothing I can do about that.
No, I guess there's nothing anybody can do about it. Maybe when we get back on the ice patrol, Hap with us, plenty of time to think. Maybe things will straighten themselves out.
For the day, sir?
No, we're going up again.
How's our glacier look from up there?
Big and cold.
Is it carving some nice icebergs for us to herd?
Yeah, Aaron's surface vessel check ought to run better than 40,000 this year.
You know, Captain, there's one thing my father forgot to mention about this duty. It's the weather.
You mean you think it's cold out today?
No, sir. I realize we're in the midst of an Arctic heat wave, but I think someone let in a draft.
Well, I'll speak to Mr. O'Malley about it.
I wish you wouldn't do that, sir. You see, he'll think I couldn't take it. Nothing seems to bother that old walrus.
Is that right, Mr. O'Malley? Mr. O'Malley?
I didn't hear you, sir.
Ensign O'Malley was saying that the weather never bothers you.
I didn't know you were here.
Oh, I've been out on deck most of the day.
Next time you go up in the helicopter, I want you to take up a passenger. One of the bosun's mates, Matthews.
Matthew, sir?
If it won't crowd you too much.
Aye, sir.
One of those I've seen. Why did it dive? Like the beginning of the world. The great white ice age. Reminds me, you think it'll be a white Christmas this year? They have it up here, it will be. Let's hope we're home.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you, sir.
Now listen, you two. It's Christmas Eve. It's time to get together. Before we go in to see Ma, why don't you
forget about it, Dad?
It'll be okay, Chief.
Now, wait a minute. You kids were raised together. I taught you how to play baseball when you were 9 years old. You were inseparable. When one of you got into trouble, the other one came to the rescue. I never saw two boys any closer together. Now, for the last couple of years, we've had all this bitterness. Now, why don't you declare a truce?
Sure, Dad.
A truce.
Oh, come on, shake hands. Ah, that's swell. Now, let's go and see Ma. Merry Christmas, Ma.
Oh, Merry Christmas. My goodness, you boys are here so soon. I didn't expect you for about an hour. And you've been shopping and got Christmas presents.
And as far as I'm concerned, we can start opening them right now.
Mr. O'Malley, every Christmas Eve is just the same. You're in such a hurry to open the presents.
Yeah, you know it's a throwback to childhood, Ma. I never did grow up.
Well, you'll just have to wait. I've been out in the kitchen making Tom and Jerry.
Oh, Ma, you're terrific. That's just the tonic for tonight.
And I've got a surprise. Now, you all, just wait here.
You sat there.
I promised Pat I'd let her know if Grad was coming home for Christmas.
doesn't he say something to her instead of just looking at her?
She hasn't seen him for a long time. Or vice versa.
What is there to say that they're not saying with their eyes? I'll be putting my gear away. Merry Christmas, Pat.
If we're acting silly.
It doesn't look silly to me.
Me neither. How about those Tom and Jerry's? Come on, Mom.
You didn't answer my letters.
Maybe because I forgot how beautiful you are.
You angry I came over?
Oh, no, Beth, no. As long as I didn't see you, I could hold out. As long as I didn't see you. But now that you're here... We better talk later. There's a lot I want to explain. Can you talk to Hap? Tell him I had nothing to do with Pat's being here? It makes me feel like I've put a curse on him or something.
No, but you haven't, son. Do you remember when you were bilged out of the academy, I told you you'd have to be a man? Well, Hap will have to be one now. Well, what do you say? Shall we open the presents?
Sure.
Thank you.
You start, Ma, huh?
Oh, Mr. O'Malley, I thought you'd be the one to want to start. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
For me, thanks.
So that was the reason.
It's a pretty silly reason. How could the fact that you were an enlisted man make any difference to me?
Well, when we first met, I was on my way to becoming an officer. I'd still like to get a gold stripe on my sleeve before we get married.
I know all about service promotion. You may get it right away, and it may take years. You don't want me to be an old maid, do you?
Are you trying to rush things, Miss Kirby?
Yes, I am.
Well, then I better start saving my money. I'm sorry about Hap. I'd do anything for that guy if only he knew it.
Poor Hap.
I wish things hadn't happened the way they did. The simple things in life can sure foul you up, can't they?
Am I a simple thing?
Not exactly, Miss Kirby.
Well, I'll be waiting for you. You take care of yourself in the ice patrol.
I sure will.
Con, this is Radio.
Radio, this is Khan. Go ahead.
There's a Norwegian cargo passenger vessel in this vicinity, Captain. It's the Pleiades. She's carrying 276 passengers.
Very well.
They know the location of the iceberg we're hurting, don't they, sir?
Yeah, but there's another one in the area. Apparently slipped in under the cover of this fog.
Well, the radar should keep them away from it, sir.
Radar or no radar, any ship afloat in the same area with a runaway iceberg can get into trouble. Radio, this is Khan. Have you notified the Pleiades of that other berg yet?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Pick up that uncharted berg the Coast Guard got her Westland warned us about?
No, sir. I thought I saw something a few seconds back, but I don't see it now, sir. We're having generator trouble.
Anything yet, sir? Maybe. Can't tell yet. Post double lookouts. Forecastle head and crow's nest.
Aye, aye, sir.
There's something now, sir.
Something there, all right. Might be another ship.
There goes the power again, sir.
Reduce to slow ahead, Nestor. Yes, sir. Slow ahead, sir.
It's not a ship, sir. It's too big.
Mr. Kane, radio the cutter our position, course, and speed. Say that object on radar is probably a large iceberg. Yes, sir. On the radio telephone. Tell them we're aground on the berg. Aye, aye, sir.
Con, this is radio.
Radio, this is Con. Go ahead.
Steamer Pleiades has gone aground on that stray berg. She's wedged in. It's a dry dock berg.
Contact all ships in the area. Notify Washington and Argentia. Is the radio working yet?
Very weak, sir.
Very well. Change course to 030.
030, sir.
All engines ahead and full.
All engines ahead full, sir.
The U.S. Coast Guard cutter is on its way.
I have the captain of the Pleiades on the phone, sir.
Thank you. Captain Holland speaking. We're due south of you. Have you had any success getting passengers away yet? Over.
And get the passengers off. The lifeboat gear is damaged.
Over there!
It's a dry dock berg, all right. She's wedged right in the middle of it. Probably by an avalanche of loose ice. If we could free her from that with her own propellers going full astern, we might drag her off. But, sir, what if her bottom plates are badly damaged? Then stand by to pick up as many survivors as possible.
Sir, as a suggestion, a heavy charge of ice mines in that avalanche might free her.
Yeah, but it would shower tons of ice right down on top of whoever laid the charge. Would you plant those mines, Mr. O'Malley?
Yes, sir.
How many men do you need?
2 men and a boat crew, and the boat crew could be assigned, sir. All they'd need to do is get us to the berg.
And the other 2 men?
If I might have Ensign O'Malley and Matthews, sir.
Carry on.
Think they'll make it, sir?
They probably will. If this bird doesn't roll over. If that charge of explosives doesn't send another avalanche down on them and us.
All right, Coxswain, cast off. Then stand off and on, ready to take us aboard.
Aye, aye, sir.
We'll stay, sir, if you need us. Thanks. Three's enough.
There she is. That's what's holding her. Give me that bar, Charlie. Let me have a shot. Put one right in here. Another one right here. When you get that down in here.
I wish they were safe on board. Mr. Harper, keep that towing hawser taut. Stand by the engine room telegraph. I'll let you know when I see a signal light. Yep.
Ready? Ready. Set it for 3 minutes. Let's get out of here. Look out for the explosion! Get back from the rail!
Below decks, everybody! Below decks, everybody! Hurry up! Get under cover! Get under cover! Stand back!
Fire.
There's the flare. All engines astern. Full. All engines astern. Full, sir.
All engines ahead full.
There's something wrong. No blast.
Defective charge. Yeah, but which one? I gotta go over the whole set.
Half! Come back! Half, wait!
Come here.
Don't need the both of you going.
Look, if that thing blows, half will be killed.
If it blows, you can't help many, so stay here.
I don't know. I think it's his shoulder. There they are!
All right, men, give me handle him easy now.
Thanks.
Well, you tell me you're going to live?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Come in.
You sent for me?
Yes.
Say, do you remember what I said on Christmas Eve? How you two as kids together, when one of you got in trouble, the other one always came to the rescue? Well, it's happened again.
We're free. Folks, lay below. Check the bottom plates. Aye.
I've missed having you around.
Look, when you and Pet get married, I want to be your best man.
Who else?
For bravery above and beyond the call of duty, it is my privilege to award by suitable decoration Ensign O'Malley, Chief Bosun O'Malley, and Chief Bosun's mate, Grad Matthews. They risked lives that others might survive.
Company! Engage! Up!
And now, with your permission.
Permission granted.